Yeah. Okay, so Chandra, jetzt chanten wir den Vers vom Bhagavad-gītā, Chapter 18. Ciao, ciao. Bye, bye. You know, he was passing the flower to the Matajis, and so interesting. He was giving each Mataji the flower to smell, and then afterwards he would smell it, and then to the next, and he would smell it. And I was thinking, maybe he is too smart that he's taking the maha from each devotee. Yeah, taking the blessings of the Mataji. Please bless me. I stay brahmachari for the next 25 years at least. Okay. So the devotees, we are reading from Bhagavad-gītā, chapter 18, the perfection of yoga, verse number 69 and 70 and 71, because verses 69, 70 have no purport, and only 71 has a purport. Which one is on the board? 69, okay. Nachatasman manushyesho Nachatasman manushyeshu kaschin mi priya kritamaha kaschin mi priya kritamaha bhavita nacha me tasmad anya priyataro bhuvi Nachatasman manushyeshu kaschin mi priyakritamaha bhavita nacha me tasmad anya priyataro bhuvi. Please chant. Nachatasman manushyeshu kaschin me priyakritamaha bhavita nacha me tasmad Bhavita me tasmad anya priyataro bhuvi Nachatasman manushyeshu kaschin me priyakritamaha bhavita cha me tasmad anya priyataro bhuvi. Matajis. Nachatasman manushyeshu kaschin me priyakritamaha bhavita macha me tasmad anya priyataro bhuvi. Would you like? Okay. Na, never. Cha, and. Tasmat, than him. Manushyeshu, among men. Kaschit, anyone. Me, to me. Priyakritamaha, more dear. Bhavita, will become. Na, nor. Cha, and. Me, to me. Tasmat, than him. Anya, somebody knows? Yes, another. And Ananya, yeah. No other, nobody. I think it's an Indian name also, Ananya. Some families name their daughters Ananya. It means, Anya means something else, another, and Ananya means nothing else, referring to nothing else except the Lord. So it's kind of, you know this verse? What was it? Ananyas chintayantumam. Ananyas chintayantumam. Nothing else. Yami bhaktya Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. Ye Janapari Vipashate, yeah. So nothing else, meaning that there's only one goal, Ananya, except the Lord. In this context, it's Anya, so another. Priyatara, dearer. Bhuvi, in this world. Translation by His Divine Grace, Abhaya Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. Maybe it's worth knowing who is Krishna talking about. And the verse before is, for one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. Verse 68. Verse 69 again, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. Verse 70, Adhyeshyate chaya imam dharmyam samvadam avayo jnana yagyena tinaham ishtasyam iti me mati. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence. Verse number 71, Shraddhavan anosoyascha Shraddhavan anasoyascha Shrinoyad apiyo nara Sopi mukta subhalokan Prapnoyat punya karmanam. Translation, and one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell. Purport. In the 67th verse, Hare Krishna, slow down, focus. In the 67th verse of this chapter, the Lord explicitly forbade the Gita's being spoken to those who are envious of the Lord. In other words, Bhagavad-gītā is for the devotees only, but it is so happens that sometimes a devotee of the Lord will hold open class, and in that class not all the students are expected to be devotees. Why do such persons hold open class? It is explained here that although not everyone is a devotee, still there are many men who are not envious of Krishna. They have faith in him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If such persons hear from a bona fide devotee about the Lord, the result is that they become at once free from all sinful reactions, and after that attain to the planetary system where all righteous persons are situated. Therefore, simply by hearing Bhagavad-gītā, even a person who does not try to be a pure devotee attains the result of righteous activities. Thus, a pure devotee of the Lord gives everyone a chance to become free from all sinful reactions and to become a devotee of the Lord. Generally, those who are free from sinful reactions, those who are righteous, very easily take to Krishna consciousness. The word punya karmanam is very significant here. This refers to the performance of great sacrifices, like the Ashvamedha Yagya, mentioned in the Vedic literature. Those who are righteous in performing devotional service but who are not pure can attain the planetary system of the pole star. Or, somebody knows what's another name of the pole star? Dhruva Loka, yes, very good. Where Dhruva Maharaj is presiding. He is a great devotee of the Lord, and he has a special planet which is called the pole star. Om Agyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Umitam Yena Tasma Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell. Okay, I just looked at the time, it's 7:28. Was deciding to finish at 7:30 today. So maybe we can start taking questions. Yeah, actually it's, at one point we decided to do the evening lectures only half an hour, like finish Narshinga Pranam quickly and then lecture, and then 7:30 until with questions until 7:45, because anyway, in the evening one is really the mind is really dull, like the capacity to understand or to hear or to reflect and think is really much lower than 12 hours before when we were in the Bhagavatam lecture, for example. So anyway, we will try to keep it short and not to talk about many topics, although we got really 3 verses which are rich in topics, and also they are related to previous verse or verses. Still, I will try to talk about the last one we read, where Krishna is saying, Shraddhavan anasoyas cha. Shraddhavan means faithful. So one who is faithful, and anasoya. Anasoya means free of envy. Again, it's like ananya. When you put the a in front of the word, then it gives the opposite meaning. And here, anasoyas means also non-envious. So we'll try to talk about what does it mean to listen with faith. It is a big topic actually, and it is worth mentioning that our devotional service starts with Shravanam, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Sevanam, and so on. And Shravanam being the first one. So listening. On the other hand, the 9 stages of devotional service start with Shraddha. Yeah? What is it? Adao Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Tato Bhajana Kriya. So it starts also with Shraddha. So we have 9 processes of devotional service, and we have 9 stages of spiritual development. Somebody ever noticed that maybe they are kind of related or connected? I don't know, like really the exact connection of each one, like with the parallel one on the list, but faith, hearing with faith is much more different than simple hearing. And Prabhupada is saying here in the purport that those who are hearing, even with the small faith, that they may not have the complete understanding, but they just have faith that, okay, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They become free from envy and free from sinful reactions. That's a lot. Imagine you go into Bhagavatam class or Bhagavad-gītā class, you listen to someone and you just have faith. Yeah, I hear that Krishna is God, but I have no idea who are those devotees, who are these people, what's the philosophy. But I know that Krishna is God, and I have some faith, and you listen with faith, and you exit this lecture, and you are free from sinful reactions. That's something, yeah? Actually, I was hearing today about this thing. I don't want to go into this topic because I still have not much or almost no realization on it. But do you ever notice that there are those, sorry to say, extreme or very promising statements in the Shastra, right? Like Krishna is saying here, one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions. It's something simple, listen with faith. And at other points, one who chants the holy name only once, then he is freed from sinful reaction. One who circumambulates Tulasi, yeah, Yani Kani Chapapani, also becomes free from sinful reactions. What else is there? Many statements promising that, okay, you just do this and you will become perfect, you will attain perfection. So, and this is lack of faith in those statements is actually related, interestingly speaking, to Artavada. Yeah, we have the 10 offenses against the holy name we're reading every day, and the fourth one is to have no faith in the Vedic scriptures. Can we please, to blaspheme the Vedic literature? So, do you get it where I'm getting to? Do you understand where I'm getting to? That actually, if we have no faith in these statements, we are blaspheming, or the other translation, Artavada, is we are interpreting the Vedic literature in our own way. No, actually, Krishna is saying here this, but what he actually means is something else. Yeah? But it's obvious what is the statement here. And the message is, most of the time, is clear, but we are trying to understand it in our own way. Why? Because we don't have actually this complete faith in those statements. So, Shraddha, the beginning of our spiritual life, like Brian Prabhu was saying last week, is into two categories. There is the Lokika Shraddha, and there is the Shastriya Shraddha. And we have to know that Shraddha means Sambandha Gyan. Yeah, Shraddha means the proper understanding. Without proper understanding, without the Sambandha Gyan, we have no Shraddha. We don't have this Shastriya Shraddha. Shastra means the Vedic literature, the scriptures. And Shastriya Shraddha is faith in the Vedic literature. And this Shraddha and faith in the Vedic scriptures can come in many ways, in a couple of ways. Here what Krishna is saying in verse number 70, is that who worships me with his intelligence, yeah? One who studies this sacred conversation of ours, Arjuna is saying him, is worshipping me with his intelligence. So this is a way to develop Sambandha Gyan. This is a way to develop Shraddha. Serving the devotees also develops Shraddha. Can somebody say how or why? How is it like, I come to you, I massage your feet, yeah, and I get Shraddha? Think about it for a second, and yeah, maybe somebody can share something. We are already 6 minutes over time. Can he get a microphone, please? It's okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Why he gets a louder mic?
Have a louder voice. So first it reminds me of the verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. There's stated that those who serve the devotees, or the pure devotees of the Lord, they attain attraction for the transcendental message of Vasudeva. And it only makes sense because if you serve someone, somehow you connect with him, or you take up qualities of him, I would say. So even in the material sense, if you associate with someone and serve him, then you get the qualities. So
that's a nice point. I never thought about it like this. Where is this in story of Narada Muni?
The verse, you mean? 1 to 16.
Oh.
Sure about it.
Nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your service. You're serving the temple, now you get also faith. Somebody else has an idea how serving the devotee gives you Shraddha? I mean, my thoughts are actually being a servant. No, it's very short, but please don't forget it, hold that thought. Just having the mode of the servant actually gives us faith in the process, just taking this position of I'm a servant gives us more faith and realization of a mood of a servant, right? Unless and until we take that position of that I am serving, how are we supposed to develop the mood of a servant? Like at the beginning we don't do it lovingly. And why would I serve you? You know, like you're 29, I'm 29, and we are both same age or same qualification. I think maybe my mind tells me. And so oftentimes we don't see actually when somebody is more advanced in front of us. And how come that serving you will bring me faith? But no, how can I ever develop the mood of a servant if I don't serve you? You know? So this is one point. Yeah, please go ahead.
Very nice point. No, I was just thinking that by trying to serve a devotee, then the devotee may be pleased and also would like to spend more time and also share his own mind with, or share some realization in this. So by you have the chance of hearing, of having some shravana from the person.
Yeah, definitely. Upadikshantite jnanam, yani nastatvadarshinaha. Those who have seen the truth, they will initiate you in knowledge. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Paripatena. First of all, to get knowledge, tadvidhi pranipatena. That's the first of all word, technically, in the verse. Pranipat. You offer respect, you offer obeisances. Pariprashnena, and you inquire inquisitively. Sevaya, you offer service. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena. So, what is it again? Pranipatena, obeisances, offering respects. Pariprashnena, inquiring inquisitively. Sevaya, and doing service. By approaching the devotee in this way, in this sequence, Pranipat, Pariprashnena, Sevaya, Upadikshyantite Jnanam, they will initiate you in knowledge. And they may not, give you, your name is, they may not give you Diksha initiation, no. But the Lord being pleased in their hearts and in your heart will reveal the knowledge for you, because now you deserve it. And we may think this service only is for the spiritual master or the guru. No, this service for each other. Right? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to serve you now by saying something useful for our spiritual lives. The moment I think I'm trying to give you something or look at you and from a higher position, then I get no knowledge. Then you don't bless me. You cannot bless me anyway. What other ways of serving each other? In the temple service, washing the pots, cleaning, doing everything, cooperating, this just simple point of cooperating, serving together, talking together, taking prasad together, associating with each other's good qualities. That's already serving each other. Doing kirtan, playing mridanga for you, playing kartals for you, leading the kirtan for pleasure of the devotees and the adored. This is also seva, no? Kirtan is seva. Giving lecture is service. Hearing the lecture is also service. Ultimately, the service is for Krishna. Shravanam, Kirtanam, we are serving the Lord. But you are the medium of service. You are the transparent medium between me and Krishna, and there's no difference in that sense. Does it make any sense? Did you ever see yourself as Bhakta and also the medium for giving the mercy of Krishna? It is like this actually, but we have to take it in a humble mood. Anyway, anybody more thoughts on the topic? So, faith means, you wanted to say something? Yeah, I'll finish soon. I didn't expect to go so long on the first point. I heard this 2 sentences today. Faith, you check it in the disciples group. Somebody sent 2.5 minutes voice notes where Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj is giving a definition of faith, and he's saying faith means Sambandha Gyan. And Sambandha Gyans mean, let me try to spell this word out, contextual understanding in our life. You know what it means, contextual? Like, we're taking knowledge, putting it into context and applying it in our life. So contextual understanding of knowledge into our life. So oftentimes we hear things and we don't apply them in our life. But in the moment we try to put the knowledge into our lives, into the context of our life, making it relevant for us, that's faith. because you know that these things, what I'm reading, you know, thousands of pages and verses, this so rich knowledge is actually relevant for me, and that is faith. And I know that it is not something that it will only be useful for me when I'm Paramahamsa or in the spiritual world. No, this is actually for me now and here, at whichever stage of my life, of my devotional service, either as a bhakta or a pre-bhakta or an initiated devotee or an advanced devotee. So this is faith. Faith means that by practicing bhakti, I don't need anything else also. This is another nice definition of faith. Yeah, can you think about it for a second? I don't need anything else except practicing bhakti. I don't need anyone else except Krishna. Anybody convinced of this in this room? Please raise your hand. I definitely will not raise my hand. Are we really convinced that we don't need anything or anyone whatsoever, whomever in our lives except the Lord? That's really like big words, right? Big words coming from a small person. So this is another definition of faith, that in this life I'm serving the Lord. I will not need anything else to become perfect, to be happy. And that's really difficult to be convinced of, because we are running after so many things. We are running daily after so many things, thinking, okay, this will bring me happiness. But we don't know that actually just think of Krishna, connect with Krishna, and this will bring you happiness. And He will bring you happiness actually. Whatever you're hankering after, all these desires in your heart, He will fulfill them. You just, first of all, place Him in the first place as the object of your worship, and not as something secondary in your life, and not as something, I like to say this German word, nebenbei, yeah? On the contrary. Spiritual life is on the contrary. Actually we sometimes are exploiting Krishna consciousness to become happy, not knowing that actually you should take advantage of it by pleasing Krishna, and then we will be happy. So this is another definition of faith. Nobody else except serving the Lord will make me happy. Bhakti yoga. Anya bilashita shunyam. Jnana karmadi anavritam. Anya bilashita. Nothing else. Jnana, no karma. Jnana karmadi anavritam. Anu kulyena Krishna nushilanam. Anu kulyena, favorably pleasing Krishna. Anu kulyena Krishna nushilanam. Bhaktir uttama. So nothing else except pleasing the Lord, having this attitude to favorably please the Lord will bring me happiness. This is also faith. So I think I will finish here. I still have 3 notes. I'll read them out for you and you can reflect upon it. We already mentioned one. Faith is attained through service to the devotees. We can try it out. Let's try to serve each other now for the next week or month or lifetime intensely, and see how deep is our faith actually becoming, how much realizations are we getting. And the next point is faith means determination. By having this conviction, we will have determination. Have you ever seen devotees who are determined? I have seen. I will not mention their names, but devotees who are really like so much inspiring me every day, with so much determination. Entschlossenheit. I like the German word. Entschlossenheit. So much determination, just every day, waking up to Mangala Arati, coming, chanting, sitting in japa time and chanting, not doing anything else, not letting the mind to divert them anywhere else, or doing service in the pujari room, or doing service with the cows, or your respectful places. And this is really determination, and this is not easy. It may be at the beginning we do it artificially, but when we do it with determination, just the idea that we got to this point, that we are doing things with determination, constantly, fixed, that means we have faith. And that means we are on the right path. And from there, we can associate properly with devotees, tata sadhu sangha, tata bhajana kriya, and go on in the stages of spiritual development. So those are my thoughts, notes, about the topic of faith and Shravanam. If you have anything to share, anything to ask, please feel free to do. It is 10 to 8 almost. Let's try to go not so much longer. So if you ask something and you see me answering for 10 minutes, please shut me down.
Sadly, it's not a question. Thank you for the lecture from Prabhu. I just found it interesting in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, when a devotee is not completely pure, he can come to the planet of Dhruva Loka. I found it just interesting because I thought, at least, that Dhruva Loka is also a spiritual planet, which is never annihilated. So how could it be that someone is not completely pure, but on a spiritual planet? But it's just a detail.
Interesting thought, yeah. It is somehow, it doesn't get annihilated, but it's at the same time not in the Vaikuntha Loka. Like it's the only spiritual planet in the material world, kind of. Yeah, interesting thought. I have no comment on it. DM Prabhu. Ah, Nico. Haribo Nico. Is it the same Nico? Our friend Nico from Hamburg?
It's the same. So I'm just reading his question. When we really trust that the holy name is enough for what everything else, why not work in some way for enough food and the rest of the time just chanting? The whole Harinam Chintamani is telling this.
Why not work somehow on the food? I didn't get that.
Yeah, that's part 2 is why not work in some way for enough food and then the rest of the time we just do chanting.
Okay, is that like a question or is it, how to say this?
Yeah, so
Statement.
if there, I think what he means is if there's enough faith or trust that the holy name is enough, why do we do anything else than chanting? Why don't we just, no?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Maybe they missed the beginning of the lecture. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So why do we do other things except chanting? Because we are missionaries. We are a preaching movement. And just sitting down and chanting is nice, but it is not the most pleasing. Of course, preaching is also chanting, no? Kirtanam. Now, as somebody is giving a lecture or talking, he's also doing kirtan, no? That's also kirtan. So, but if you mean that by chanting japa, sitting down and just chanting, doing nothing else, it's good. Prabhupada did not so much encourage it. He preached it. He encouraged his disciples to do it. But as soon as somebody came up with this idea, he told him, no, you should preach. There's this extreme story where somebody told Prabhupada, I want to go into Vrindavan and chant, do nothing else. Prabhupada told him, please don't, I wasted 60 something years of my life or 50 years of my life in Vrindavan. You know, the meaning is that Prabhupada, he only saw that his life mission is being completed when he came to the West. I mean, I don't know, try to imagine your lives if Prabhupada did not come to the West. How much mercy did we get? Thousands of people, millions of people actually, either knowingly or unknowingly got this mercy. So imagine Prabhupada decided, yeah, I'll just sit down and chant in Vrindavan. I'm anyway a pure devotee and direct associate of Krishna, servant of Radharani. So why should I come to the West? And that's one thing to think about. Of course, if you are on that mental platform that you are satisfied by sitting down and chanting, try to do it. But there are many stories actually of devotees who tried to do this, sat down at Radhakund and decided to chant 3 lakhs every day for the rest of their lives. And then after some time they fell down. They really stopped chanting. Who was it? Bhagavad-gītā Prabhu was telling a story. Somebody did this, and then later on somebody saw him at the gas station after a couple of years. He didn't get the blessings to do it from his spiritual master, but he still did it. And after some years, some devotee saw him at the gas station pumping his car. He told him, "What are you doing here, working at the gas station?" He told him, "I chanted too much. That was enough for the rest of my life." So, he had this realization that I don't need to do anything else except chant. And then suddenly he has this realization that I chanted enough. So it's quite dangerous for Rajasic Kali Yoga people to say, "I don't want to do anything else except chanting." We need to be engaged. We need to be active. Otherwise we go crazy. How many of us have really this pure Brahminical nature? Anything else? Yes, please. You get a microphone for the live stream, because we have thousands of people watching online sometimes.
I think that also faith comes from experience, because what we see, we are convinced that this material world is full of misery, and we compare our life when we are in the material world before the Krishna consciousness, and now what happiness brings our Krishna consciousness. When we compare these two lives, we see from experience that that it is some change. Yeah? So this also gives our faith.
This also brings faith. True.
Yeah.
True. What is it? Raja Vidya Raja Gahyam Vitram Imam Uttamam Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam. What? You were learning this verse today? Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam. What does Pratyaksha means? Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam means by direct perception. What is it? Direct perception, right? Pratyaksha. Aksha means? Eye. Auge. Eye. Auge. Yeah. Pratyaksha. We have the three pramanas. Pratyaksha also is seeing something. So Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam, meaning that this knowledge is the king of knowledge. It's the purest of all knowledge. Why? Because it gives direct perception of the self by realization. So our knowledge is the most pure. It is the best. The king of all knowledge. Krishna is claiming this very boldly. Why? Because it is experienced. Because it gives direct perception of the self. It gives self-realization through experience, through direct perception of ourselves. So we can read so many books and hear so many lectures and do so many notes, but until the moment we actually have this, what Mataji talked about, this experience, then it's still not so deep faith. Yeah, thank you for reminding us of this point. Anybody else? Someone else? Oh, please.
Is it the same, this firm faith that I already this one? And the faith which is mentioned the first step of the nine?
Shraddha.
Is it?
Yeah. I think the safe way to start the answer is by saying I don't know. But I once heard an interesting thing that actually this faith, Shraddha, is not like something empty capsule. It is actually already some emotion is there. So, and it goes on along with us through the 9 stages of devotional service. It's not like, okay, I've crossed over faith and then I'm done with that topic. I don't need any more faith in my life. No, actually, faith in itself isn't, devotional service means there is already some emotion, there is already some, what Prabhupada says, appreciation, right? How does faith starts? By appreciation for the devotees. So the question was, is there any difference between this initial faith, firm faith, and Sanjay Prabhu, does that answer your question? Again, is there a difference between this firm faith and the I don't need anything else except the initial faith of the first faith. Somebody has an idea? Is the faith, the initial faith, we start the devotional service by Adav Shraddha Tatar Sadhu Sangha and so on. This initial faith, is it as the same as the fixed faith of what we talked about of Anyabilashita Shunyam, that I don't need anything else except practicing bhakti, and then I would attain perfection?
I heard that those stages are just the development of Shraddha, so it's the same in quality, I guess, the same Shraddha, but in quantity it's different.
Definitely, yeah. Different intensity maybe, but it is not different in definition. By definition, it's not different. I wouldn't say that. No. Kadama Kanar Maharaj I once asked him, we say the stages of 9 stages of spiritual development, and we imagine a pyramid in our mind, and he said it's parallel. It's not like one comes on top of each other, and once you are done with the first, second stage, then you don't come back to the others. No, they are interconnected, and there is, like Prabhupada said, the dormant love of God in our hearts, right, which is already prema. We already have all of this. We already have this prema or bhava or everything in our heart, is just not manifest yet. Not the seed is not germinated yet, did not blossom yet. Okay. Oh, pray. We said we'll go until 7:30, right?
What are some ways that you use to master this art of listening with faith?
Attentively.
Attentiveness.
I try to do it, but still too far away from it. Listen attentively means listening with faith. Yeah, definitely. If we are not attentive while hearing, it means we don't have much faith in the hearing process. If we are, it's it's very like, I really like this saying, but faith means your mind is not scattered. Do you want to comment on this? Yeah.
I just have a feeling that I may do little service to this question by 2 points which came to my thoughts I have in the moments where I listen.
Please do. Please share.
Yes.
Feel confident to do it.
When I listen, most of the time I listen more to the thoughts I have arising in me, but there was this a realization that most of the time the thoughts are very important to me for like 5 seconds, but I had this is the first realization. The second one is that there was a moment of grief as I thought about how many things were told to me already, and how many times I've not listened attentively, and that's why I lost so many things which could have helped me a lot. And by grief, actually, my attention is actually raising for what I hear.
Thank you. You know, I've been like every day, of course, reading a little bit or hearing a little bit something, and always on the next day I want to remember one point, one thing. It's nothing like, because my mind is too distracted. I don't have like, I'm not taking so much, not absorbing so much. So it is said that our japa tomorrow starts actually now, right? Of which inputs we put now in our minds, that's our japa tomorrow. So imagine now we did not come here, each of us went on surfing the internet until 10 o'clock, and then we slept, and even until 9 o'clock, and we slept and woke up tomorrow, and you can guess how your japa will be. But it's much different when we read and go tomorrow for chanting. So let's try to take one thing, and it's related to your point. Let's try to take one thing with us for our tomorrow's morning japa meditation, and that is the point also faith. When we have faith in listening, in hearing, and in chanting, then it is a different result. So when we don't have faith, then we are not concentrated. We don't have the concentration. We don't have this attentiveness. We don't have this determination. And our mind is distracted. It's scattered. Our thoughts are all over the place. Like, the monkey jumping from one branch to another. If we had the complete faith that the holy name, Harer Nama Eva Kevalam, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, nothing else except the chanting of the holy name of the Lord will actually help me attain perfection. I mean, imagine, you can chant one Shuddha Nam and that's it. You're already in the spiritual world. And how many verses are glorifying the holy name and saying that, extremely ultimate power it has. But if we had really some of this faith and apply it in our japa, then it will be really a different japa. So let's try this tomorrow in our japa meditation while sitting here and chanting, or wherever you are sitting and chanting. Try to see how much your mind is diverting, how much your mind is being how much are you being distracted, how much is your mind scattered, jumping from one thought to another, and how much are you actually listening, hearing attentively the holy name. And if we had deep faith, which we think is something, for beginners, if we had this deep faith that holy name, holy name, holy name, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Kevalam, Kalaunas, Evanas, Evagatir Anata, nothing else but the holy name. If we had this deep conviction and apply this our meditation for 2 hours or 1 hour or whatever, however you're chanting, it's different results. Shri Prabhupada ki, Shrimad Bhagavad-gītā ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.